Who's your favorite character in Genesis and why?
I would say Abraham, because there's so much relatability that we can get from him. We always think with maturity comes wisdom, right? But we can clearly see that even though he does the same mistake when he was more or less young, he still does the same mistake maybe like 3, 4, 5 chapters down the road. And I think that's like a good reminder for us also, that we are bound to make mistakes even though we mature ourselves in Christ.
The favorite character that I know in Genesis is Lot, because but in that story I know how Lot did not obey God, and in that story I learned that we must be faithful and true to God.
What do you think about the fall of Adam and Eve?
The fall of Adam and Eve, in the beginning, I quite hard to accept the fact that we all inherit sins created by them. It's not fair. But after studying the BSF for a few years, I come to accept the fact that that's God's will, And our mind cannot understand God's mind. We are so limited.
Where in Genesis do you think God showed his love the most?
I would say Genesis 21, particularly in the story of Hagar and Ishmael, when they were kicked out from Abraham's family. We always believe that God's love is always exclusive to this one small group or subset of people in Genesis, right? But in that story, we can see that God's love went after them, even though they were kicked out. So, yeah.
When he created the world and he gave Adam and created Adam into his own image.
So what do you think about the creation process?
The creation process that I learned from Genesis, and I love the story, God's story. So that time I thought that humans are coming naturally, just naturally in the nature like that. But after studying the Genesis, I came to know that we are created by God.
Why do you think people should join Gamma on Genesis?
I noticed to study the Bible alone is quite a difficult task. Sometimes we come across some passage that is ambiguous and beyond our understanding. As such, we may expound it in our own general knowledge and may be wrong. Like the saying goes, if we learn the wrong thing right, we are perfectly wrong. Let's avoid this situation by joining Gamma 20th. And moreover, we are going to start with the first book of the Holy Bible, Genesis, as written in Matthew chapter 4, verse 4. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. Come and experience Gamma 20 yourself. Feel the joy and expand the kingdom of our God together.
Cut!
Yay! I'm free! Good luck!